but we do a fair amount of sewing out here. We mend our clothes or occasionally make new pieces of clothing. We're going to use these rags next week. We just want to kind of bind the edges off so they don't fray everywhere and get threads in our food.
This is a blacksmith.
All I'm putting in is powder. So that just means it just makes a big boom, basically. Nothing's actually coming out except for a little bit of burned up paper. Take up the mat, blow it off. Make sure it's nice and hot. Present your piece! And there you have it. Yes, sir.
Like the ball, Daddy.
Yeah, just
turn this way.
You're not allowed to touch the trigger.
Now.
Don't point it out.
This is good. Now, here, put that that way.
So when you shoot it, how fast does it go?
1,000 feet per second, you say.
Oh, and you need help with that? I'm going to put this on. Man, that is a heavy hat.
Summer is terrible for the English. Not that it doesn't get hot and humid in England, of course it does, but we have very high humidity, very high temperatures for a long period of time, starting in June, not breaking until September. That they're not quite used to. Salt in the water weakens their systems. They're planted right on the wetlands.
Just working on the bone. Got the leg bone of a deer I'm trying to make into a knife.
We're taking off the fat that was left behind from the skinning process, but also we're trying to get rid of this membrane there.
The first thing I have to do is get my compass pointing north.
So we know this ship was a certain size, built at a certain time, and we recreated that style. That's all we know. 100 degrees out there, and there's no, you can't get away from the sun, and you're on deck all day, and 4 hours you get to take, and it's tough. Some of it's really tough.
The state has just had bad budgets. For the last 2 years, they pulled the budget for maintenance on this ship. And we told them, you want to be able to let people come out here and look at this ship, you better fix this thing.
This tower is the only above-ground structure still remaining from 17th century Jamestown. Its walls are 3 foot thick.
Yes, they are.
All history is interpretation. John Smith was here. He was writing what was happening at the time that it was happening. But can we accept everything that John Smith said as gospel? No. It was his perception of what was happening. It certainly wasn't the Native American interpretation. Wasn't even some of the other Englishmen's interpretation. It was John Smith's. This, of course, is a statue of one of the most famous Indians of the period, Pocahontas. She is only 10 or 11 years old when the English arrived. Now, the riverside of our Smith statue will state that John Smith is governor in 1608. Well, just like John Smith marrying Pocahontas, don't you believe it? Because it's untrue. He is not governor. He pulls everybody inside the Jamestown Fort Church, sits them all down in the pews, highborn, lowborn alike, stares them square in the face and says, "He who will not work shall not eat." The very foundations of who and what we are as a people, as a nation, began here at Jamestown.